Emily, after completing her final year at university, decided to escape the stress and find some peace in her family's old mountain cabin. The cabin, nestled deep in the forest near a small town, had been unused for years. When Emily arrived, she found the interior covered in dust, the air cold and still. She set about cleaning up, noticing how everything seemed untouched for ages. On her first night, Emily sat by the window, looking out into the dark forest. She thought she saw something moving in the shadows, but dismissed it as a trick of the light. However, as the night wore on, she began to hear heavy, rhythmic footsteps outside, circling the cabin. These sounds filled her with unease. She approached the door, peering out, but saw no one. Yet, fresh footprints in the dirt suggested someone had been there. The next day, Emily ventured into town and spoke with a few locals. They told her eerie tales of the cabin being cursed, with past residents disappearing mysteriously. Though she didn't fully believe them, a strange unease lingered within her. That evening, as she returned to the cabin and settled by the window again, she noticed a shadowy figure in the distance, more distinct this time, resembling a human shape. The shadow seemed to approach the cabin, but vanished before reaching it. Emily tried to brush off the events, convincing herself it was just her imagination. But throughout the night, she was haunted by faint whispers saying, "Find me or I'll take you." Determined to uncover the source of these disturbances, Emily began investigating the cabin's surroundings the next day. While exploring the forest, she discovered an old gravestone marked with the names of the cabin's previous owners who had vanished years ago. That night, the shadow appeared once more, this time speaking to her. It claimed to be the restless spirit of someone who once lived in the cabin. Emily, feeling a mix of fear and pity, decided to help the spirit find peace. The shadow, however, warned her, "You must find me, or I will take you." As Emily pondered the meaning of these words, she found ancient writings on the cabin walls detailing a ritual. Gathering the necessary items, Emily prepared to perform the ritual, hoping to free the spirit. As the ritual progressed, the shadow suddenly attacked her, knocking her to the ground. The shadow began draining her energy, and Emily felt her life flashing before her eyes. Her screams echoed through the forest, reaching the nearby town. When the townspeople arrived at the cabin the next morning, they found Emily's lifeless body. Her face was frozen in an expression of terror, and dark marks stained her fingertips. The villagers, shaken by the tragedy, decided to seal off the cabin, never to return. Yet, at night, the locals claimed they could hear Emily's screams and see shadows dancing in the windows, suggesting her spirit had not found peace. The cabin, now abandoned, became a place of fear and legend. The townsfolk shared Emily's story among themselves, believing that the shadow still roamed the forest. No one ever uncovered the full truth about the shadows, but they all knew one thing for certain. Something had happened in that cabin, and it would never rest.